Most people spend their entire lives believing they are thinking freely, when in reality, they are reacting automatically. Thoughts appear, emotions follow, and actions happen without deliberate choice. The mind becomes a battlefield of impulses, fears, memories, and imagined futures. When life is calm, this chaos remains hidden. When pressure arrives, it is exposed. The Stoics understood this pattern long before modern psychology named it. They did not see the mind as something to indulge, but something to train. Without discipline, the mind does not serve you. It rules you. The first illusion that must be shattered is the belief that peace comes from controlling circumstances. People chase stability through money, relationships, recognition, and certainty. Yet history proves the opposite. Kings, generals, philosophers, and emperors lived surrounded by chaos. Marcus Aurelius ruled the most powerful empire on earth while enduring betrayal, plague, war, and personal loss. His calm did not come from control over events. It came from mastery over judgment. He understood that reality does not ask permission before it changes. Only your response remains yours. The Stoic path begins with a narrowing of focus, not an expansion. You are not meant to carry the weight of the world. You are meant to carry responsibility for your own conduct. Everything else is excess. When a mind tries to manage outcomes, it fractures. When it commits to principles, it stabilizes. This is why the Stoics drew a hard line between what is within your control and what is not. This line is not philosophical decoration. It is a survival mechanism. Within your control are your judgments, your intentions, your actions, and your character. Outside your control are other people, external events, outcomes, timing, luck, and the past. Every mental disturbance arises from confusing these categories. Anxiety comes from trying to predict outcomes. Anger comes from trying to control others. Regret comes from trying to rewrite the past. The disciplined mind refuses these traps. It does not argue with reality. It adapts to it. This discipline does not appear overnight. The untrained mind resists structure. It prefers comfort, distraction, and validation. It reacts emotionally because emotion is easy. Reason requires effort. The Stoics never denied this difficulty. They embraced it. They believed that ease weakens the soul and effort strengthens it. A mind that has never been challenged cannot be trusted under pressure. Thoughts themselves are neutral. They are impressions, not commands. Yet most people treat every thought as truth. A fearful thought appears and is believed immediately. A jealous thought arises and is justified. An angry thought surfaces and is acted upon. This is not thinking. This is obedience. The Stoic does not obey the first thought. He interrogates it. He asks whether it is accurate, useful, and aligned with virtue. Most thoughts fail this examination. This pause between impression and response is where control is born. It may last only a few seconds, but within it lies freedom. Without the pause, you are a servant to impulse. With it, you are a decision maker. The Stoics trained this pause deliberately. They reflected daily, not to feel better, but to think better. Reflection sharpens judgment. Judgment stabilizes action. Emotion is often misunderstood in Stoic philosophy. The Stoics did not aim to become emotionless. They aimed to become undominated. Emotion becomes destructive only when it overrides reason. Anger that leads to injustice, fear that leads to cowardice, desire that leads to excess. These are failures of governance, not failures of feeling. The Stoic allows emotion to arise, but refuses to hand it the reins. This is why naming emotion matters. When anger appears, the Stoic says this is anger. When fear rises, he says this is fear. By labeling the emotion, he creates separation. The emotion becomes an object of observation rather than an identity. You are not angry. You are experiencing anger. This distinction restores authority. You cannot be ruled by what you can observe clearly. The modern world actively works against this discipline. Constant stimulation trains the mind to react instantly. Notifications, headlines, arguments, outrage cycles, these condition impatience. Silence becomes uncomfortable because the mind has not learned to stand on its own. The Stoic deliberately withdraws from excess input, not out of isolation, but out of strategy. A mind flooded with noise cannot hear reason. Silence is not emptiness. It is space. In that space, the mind learns to sit without reaching for distraction. This is not rest. It is resistance training. 10 minutes of deliberate silence strengthens attention more than hours of passive consumption. In silence, thoughts surface without disguise. You see patterns clearly. You notice recurring fears, attachments, and narratives. Awareness precedes control. The Stoics also practiced voluntary discomfort as a method of mental conditioning. They understood that a mind accustomed only to comfort collapses when hardship arrives. By choosing discomfort, cold, hunger, fatigue, restraint, they removed fear's leverage. When discomfort is familiar, it is no longer threatening. When difficulty arrives uninvited, it feels manageable rather than catastrophic. This principle extends to discipline in daily life. Rising early, exercising consistently, speaking less and acting more, delaying gratification. These are not moral gestures. They are psychological training. Each act reinforces the same lesson. You are capable of governing yourself. Self-trust is built through evidence, not affirmation. The body plays a critical role in mental control. A restless body produces a restless mind. Poor sleep distorts judgment. Lack of movement intensifies anxiety. Shallow breathing amplifies panic. The Stoic treats the body as an instrument, not an ornament. Physical discipline supports mental clarity. Neglect undermines it.